In this episode of our photography review show, we're gonna talk about photography websites. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of our photography review show. I hope you had a great week and I hope you're ready for more photography fun. Now, if you've never been here before, my name is Jacob Bors and I'm a professional photographer based in West Sussex, England. Now, for the past 6, 7 or 8 months, I've been reviewing your photos here on this channel. I have reviewed thousands of images from hundreds of photographers and it's been lots of fun. It's been very popular. In this episode, it's a little bit special because instead of reviewing photos, we're gonna review some photography websites. But most importantly, we're gonna talk about photography websites and we're gonna talk about what it does need and what it needs to include for it to be considered as a professional photography website. So it should be lots of fun and we're gonna head into it right in a moment. But before that, I wanted to remind you about our photography membership. You can find out more about it when you head to our website, cleverphotographer.com. It's called Clever Photographer Plus, and for a little fee every month you get a brand new full bundle of photography tools. Now, for example, this month you get the spring photography bundle full of textures, overlays, skies, presets, LUTs, brushes, Photoshop actions, and so much more. Over 260 tools are included in this month's bundle. So make sure that you check it out, head to our website, look for the membership there, and learn more about these great ways of how you can get the new tools every month. So this is out of the way. Now let's jump into the world of photography websites. And here we are talking about photography websites. So first of all, we're going to be looking at my website and website of Scott Kelby. Scott is the owner of Kelby One and a big personality in the world of photography. Now, I have him here just to make sure that you believe what I'm going to be talking about. Obviously, some of the building stone we're going to be covering really make sense. They were tested and they are recognized as standard building stones for the photography websites in the photography industry. So let's jump straight into it. That's what we're gonna do first, and then we're gonna review 2 websites from our community members, from 2 photographers, and purposely I haven't had a look at the websites at all, just to make sure that it's gonna feel like I'm the first time visitor, because really what we're gonna talk about is really important for the people who don't know you yet, who never seen your website yet, and who don't know much about you. Because if you have like a super fan who knows everything about you, or it's your friend or family member, they will go through some of these articles without really needing them there. They don't need about page, contact page. However, if I'm a first time visitor, if I want to offer you a job, if I want to find out more about you because I like your photos, I need some of these building stones to be there. So let's cover it. First of all, starting with the website name and address. Thankfully, the days are gone when you had to have a website name same as your name. For example, Jacob Bors or Scott Kelby. Now with the world of Google and other search engine, it's so much easier. Really, when I will want to find out more about you, I will head to Google, I will write your name, and I'm hoping that I will find out the address there. This is where really it's much more important to look after your SEO, which basically in very small way is making sure that your website can be found on Google. So let me show you what I mean. So for example, Jacob Bors is my name. And when you go on Google and you search for Jacob Bors photography and you hit enter, as you can see, the very first part of the actual search and the result is me right here with the website and different tabs. It also shows you where I live. Then after it shows you Facebook, it shows you my other businesses, it shows you LinkedIn, Pinterest, social media, and so on. Now, also when you jump into images and the search results there, pretty much first half, or depending where you are and how the pictures are trending, first half or first page of the search results are all my images. So that's what you really want to be seeing. So it's really important to invest in that and making sure that that's all set up right, rather than really worrying too much about your name. Now, if you can put your name in the address, perfect. If it's not available, it's not a big deal. It's more important to invest your time in making sure that we can find your address on Google and other search engines. So that's the first part. Now we are on your website. So we found your website. We are on your homepage. And the first thing which should be there, and it's really important, is the hero image. So hero image is the big image right here. You can also see it on Scott's website. His is kind of sliding. And really the hero image has only one purpose. And the purpose is to capture the attention of the viewer. So the person arriving, and it's like you see a house and you walk in and you have the first impression of the place. So either it's really nice, clean, neat, and it's looking great, or it's messy, and right away you get a certain feeling. So that's why the hero image is really important. But one big image, something what most likely gonna represent you, something what represent your work or your style, should be there on your homepage. So that's the first thing. Then what it should also include is your logo or your name. So for example, me, it just say Jacob Bors. For Scott, it actually shows his logo. Now, the reason why it's important to have it there is that you're confirming your identity right away on the arrival. So if I saw your pictures on Instagram, and then I went to Google and searched for you, and then I click on the link and I arrive to your website, right away my brain wants to confirm that I'm on the right place. And I can't say that just by seeing an image. I need to also double see it with my name or with the logo. So once I see two of them, I'm thinking, okay, I'm at the right place. That's what I wanted to see, and that's what I wanted to learn. So first of all, the address we already covered. Second of all, hero image on your homepage. Third of all, you want to have your logo or your name visible on the first page. Then we're going to move into the actual tabs. So there should be limited amount of tabs, starting with the homepage. It's there or it's not there, it's not a big deal. Some websites you can get back to homepage by clicking on the name or on the logo. So that's fine. Second thing, portfolio. Most visitors will be here for this specific page or multiple pages, depending on how many different portfolios you're showcasing. However, that's the second place where they will gonna go. Again, either they will want to double confirm that they are viewing the right photographers, or they will want to see more of your work. So when it comes to portfolio and subcategories, let's move to the Scott's website, and again, portfolio on a second place. So for example, Scott here has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subcategories. You can have as many subcategories as you want, as long as they're showcasing your style, obviously, and as long as you will have a excellent 20 to 25 images for the category itself. So let me show you. For example, here with Scott, I click on travel, and that will open a list of his travel photos. And as you can see, if you would count, I think on this page, it's about 23 images, and that's basically about traveling. Then we can go fashion and beauty. Similarly here, when they're going to show, again, 20 or 25 pictures from fashion and beauty. So similarly for me, for example, Isle of Skye, as a subcategory, I have 20 or 25 of my best and most favorite photos for the Isle of Skye. So first of all, portfolio, then you have a subcategories, which will be, in your case, if you're a travel photographer, it could be cities. If you are a hospitality photographer, it could be restaurants, hotels. If you are portrait photographer, it could be close-ups or just one category. It's really up to you. You can have as many subcategories as you want. Then when we go into the subcategory, which can be, for example, Chichester here, which is a town where I live. Inside of the subcategory, you want to have a high quality 20 to 25 images, the best images you can get. Now, you can't imagine how many times I've been asked, but I have more pictures. What should I do with the other pictures? No, really what you need to pick is 20 to 25 images. If you have more images you like, you can keep changing them. However, it's important that you really put the best of the best. You put the images which showstop the viewers. It's images you get the most comments and most likes on. They are the one which needs to be on your portfolio website. So that's it. People also ask how often you should review the website. Obviously, there is not really a rule to that. However, it's recommended at least 2 to 4 times a year, because that's usually following the different seasons. You should review the images and make sure that you update them with the latest one and with the one you like the most. Us as a photographers, when we go through our career, we get better and better. So it doesn't make sense to have a portfolio from 10 years ago, unless it's something special, unless it's a special occasion. But if it's just a landscape photography, portrait photography, and you've done so much work since, most likely your recent work will be higher quality than your work 10 years ago. It's not exactly the rule, but most of the time it's like that. And it's recommended to review your portfolio 2 to 4 times a year. Then we're going to talk about text on the images. So, for example, Scott, if we go there, for example, travel, you can't actually see any text with the images. Even if you click on them, it doesn't show anything. There is no text, which is perfectly fine. That's not a big deal. However, if you do include text on your images, it's really, really important that it's checked for grammar and that it's correct for the correct image. You can't imagine how many people from magazine I work with in the past will tell you, well, I really love this photographer. I went to their website, I checked his pictures, and there was a picture of Eiffel Tower with the text from London. And I never contacted the guy. I'm just not interested really if he's not able to sort his own portfolio. So it's really important if you're adding text to the images to make sure that it's grammatically correct and that it's the right text for the right image. So that's also really, really important. Now, so we went through portfolio. We're going to talk about the about page. This is really important. Let's go to Scott as well and let's talk about about. About can have the smallest size or a bigger size. I don't really worried about it so much. What it needs to have is your image, your own image needs to be there, and then a little bit about you. Just like in Scott's case here, I'm photographer, author of Photoshop guy based in Tampa Bay area of Florida. I'm super into shooting people, sports, travel, and I'm always on the lookout for new opportunities, locations, fascinating people, and places to photograph. That's more than enough. You can put more if you would like to. You can put some recognitions if you would like to. Some people make this really difficult for themselves, and some people have a lot of opinion on this page. I think it really should showcase you and your personality, so don't worry about it. But the about page needs to be there. It needs to have your photo and it needs to talk about you a little bit. Because me as a visitor, I want to know who you are, where you're based, who you are, how long you've been shooting, what you enjoy, and so on. Similarly for me here, Jacob Bors, where I live, where I was born. It talks about what I shoot. It talks about what I manage as a photographer and so on. Moving on to the next page. And the fourth into our main building stones is the contact page. That's the final and probably one of the most important pages there. You need to be able and you need to be offering ways for the visitors to contact you. So in my case, I have this little form here which they can fill in. Same for Scott. I also add my email and phone number here. Some people don't like to do that. My phone number and email is all over the internet anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. It's there. If people want to contact me, they can. And I have to tell you, I had it there, this email and I had email and phone number there for 7-8 years now, and I receive minimum phone calls. I receive much more messages through the form here rather than phone numbers. So that's about it. Now the final page I wanted to talk about is the blog. It doesn't need to be there, and to be honest, if you have a blog which will have one blog post for 2 years, I would suggest you to take it off. I would suggest you to remove it. However, if you're gonna have a blog and you will have there 5, 10, 20 blog posts, and you will have a blog post there like this one, Sky Highland Cow Locations, it can bring you so much business. You can't imagine how much this one blog post where pretty much I talk about where to find the Highland cows and how to photograph them on the island sky. And I got probably 20 businesses out of this. And the reason being, it's not that people go to my website to read about the Highland cows just because they know I'm going to know more about it. It's just that the blog is searchable online. And when people talk about, they go and they Google and they travel and they write Isle of Skye, Scotland, Highland cows, the first thing comes is my blog. And right away it brings them to my website and they ask for pictures, prints, they ask for photo shoots and so on. So the blog is an amazing tool if you utilize it. If you're gonna have it there, not use it. If it's gonna have this coming soon sign for next 2 years, then don't worry about it, just leave it. However, if you will use it and if you will update it, then it can really bring lots of business for you. So the blog is really, really cool tool. And that's about it. So we are done with the main building stones. I know it was lots of information. However, let's run it and let's run through it one more time. The address, not really important unless it looks really cheap. However, it's important that it's searchable in search engines like Google. Then when the person arrives, hero image to capture their attention. At the same time, they need to be able to see your logo or signature or name to be able to right away recognize and identify that it's you. It's you who they were looking for. Just like arriving to the house and it says your name on the doorbell. They know that they visited the right person. That's when they arrive. Then the portfolio. Inside of the portfolio, you can have as many subcategories as you like, as long as they represent your styles or locations or anything like that. And as long as you have a category where you can provide 20 to 25 great, amazing images. So once you have your subcategories, then when I click into the subcategory, you want to put 20 to 25 best images you have. I don't care if you have a 2000 or if you have 100, you really need to go and find out the ones they got most like, most comments, you sold most of them and so on, and they need to be here. Once you put them here, every twice or 4 times a year, you need to review it, depending how often you shoot. But it's always a good idea after the season pass to go back to your website, review what you shoot, and update it. So basically the ones which are maybe not so cool, you take them away and bring the new ones which got more attention. Then the about page, really important that it has your picture, once again connecting the viewer and the person as a visitor with basically being able to recognize that it's you, then your name and some details about you. And then the contact page, really important, with little form where they can fill in and tell you what they need and they can contact you. If you want, you can also add your email and phone number there and social media. So those are the basic building stones. And now we're going to look at the 2 websites from our photographers. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, I haven't actually looked at the websites yet. And the reason being that I want to feel like I am the first time visitor. I know the photographers, however, I never been on their website, so I want to find out more about them. And let's start by the website name. So let's have a look and let's start right here by Joe Wilson, I'm assuming. So Jovi Photography, I'm on the very first page I got provided. And let's start with the building stones. Now, when you enter, the address is joviphotography.myportfolio.com. So that's perfectly fine. Let me see. Jovi Photography, if we go to the Google and we write Jovi Photography and we search, and we find first Facebook, which I'm not 100% sure if it's yours, but I'm hoping it is, Instagram, and then there is a Jovi Photography Weebly. So I would be quite interested if that's yours or no. And then there is Jovi Photography Pinterest, there is Jovi Mitchell Photography. So this is the case where I think you need to double check with the SEO, with however you build it, to see if there is a way how you can get a little bit higher in the Google search so people can find you a little easier. But anyway, that would be the first suggestion. So I don't think there is necessarily anything wrong with the address, but I would make sure that people can find me on a Google. So that would be my first thing. Then hero image. Now you don't have a hero image when you arrive. Let's just go to home. Let's just make sure I'm right. Okay. You don't have a hero image here. However, the categories or the portfolio categories are so big that it almost acts as a hero image. So I'm not too worried about it. I think it looks quite cool. Obviously, landscapes, architecture, wildlife, fun, macro, wildfire. Okay, so let's say this is like your hero images, it's just multiple of them, so that's cool. Then next thing we talk about is logo or name. So obviously Jovi Photography here, photos by Joe Wilson, so it's here. There's also logo, so that's all good, so I'm happy with that. Now let's talk about the tabs. So obviously there's no more tabs than home and contact, which is fine. You can't click on the logo, you can't click on these. So really, you can go in the categories, which would be your portfolio. So let's go into the landscapes. So now we're talking about portfolio. So in portfolio, it says landscapes, seascapes, escapes, and donut. So there are some images here, and let's talk about how many is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24. I counted 24. However, that's definitely in the numbers we talked about, and I think that's perfectly fine. So looking at them like this as a subcategory, your landscape, 20 to 25 best of your best images. I think that's perfect. They are quite nicely sorted, nicely put together. So let's just click on one. It opens nicely as well with a little logo, which I think is quite nicely done. It's very decent. It's not distracting, and I think it works quite well. Then you can slide between the different images, and it works very well too. There's no text here or description, which is fine. It doesn't need to be there, and that's about it. Perfect. So this is how it should be: 20 to 25 images, high quality, nicely sorted. It also has this "you may also like" section, which is most likely created by Adobe Portfolio. However, it's quite nice, cute, and a neat thing to do. So how would you get back now? So I guess you would have to go back to home. Let's check one more portfolio. Architecture. So that opens, and once again, there is less images you see on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 images. So this is the case where I would suggest to look for more images. Again, building bridges and ghost towns. I wonder if you could add a bit more, at least to 15. Ideally, you would be at 20. When you showcase only 9 images, and this is just more in case that I would be coming to you and I would like to hire you as a photographer, I would think if you only have 9 images, maybe you're not a professional photographer, or maybe you don't really take architecture pictures. So try to look for more images for the architecture. I think it would be really worth it. So let's visit one more portfolio. I'm wondering, for example, wildlife. And wildlife is cool. There is more images here. It right away look fuller, and it right away gives you the assumption that wildlife photography is something what you do. Once again, really nicely done. Good quality of the picture, good size, nice the scrolling between, no text, very well done. Okay, so we have our portfolio. We went through that, and that's done. Now I'm looking for an about page. I would like to learn more about you, and I don't see it here. So that's the one thing I'm missing. So I'm wondering, maybe it's in the contact page. So let's click on that. And that really just tells you the contact. Please email with any inquiries. I would love to hear from you. Photographs on the site are copyright Joe Wilson 2022. No unauthorized use, please. Okay, so one thing I'm missing, Joe, is your about page. We would love to know a little bit more about you. I just saw your image on Instagram, and I love it. And I would love to know maybe where you base, how long you've been photographing. Do you do this for money, or is it just fun? Are you offering any services? What gear are you using? And all of that should be here, so you can share it with your audience and people can get more interested in you. So if you're sharing your images, I think people should be able to find out more about you. So the about page, I think, is missing here. Then, sorry for this, then the contact page has everything it needs. Oh, the only thing I wish you could add here is a social media. I think in today's day and age, it's quite cool to have like an Instagram and Facebook link here, but it's not possible. If it's not possible, it's okay. It still say everything it needs. Obviously the little form, and that's it. So all in all, I think it's very, very nicely done. I love the design. I think it all works. It's very cute. I think it's missing the about page. And I think in the subcategories where you can't provide more than 15 images, ideally 20, I think either I would remove them, or I wouldn't remove them. I would just shot more of the style and bring them up here. I think that would be really, really cool. Other than that, well done, Joe. Thank you so much for sharing your website with you. It's great. I love what you've done here. I'm sure it's showcasing your style a lot, and well done. So now we're going to move to the next photographer, and that's Doug Stratton. Doug is from our Clever Photographer Academy, our friendly photographer with some incredible images. And I'm super excited to review his website because obviously we know each other for a while now. And this will let me know a little bit more about his photography journey and style. So we are here on the website in the home page. And similarly to Joe, it's also missing the hero image. Now, similarly to Joe again, because the main portfolio subcategories are so big and they have such a big thumbnails, it kind of works as well. So it's not a big deal. Once again, to remind you, hero image is one big image which basically stick the person to your website. It makes it right away very attractive, and it captures the visitor. So it it's quite nice to have it there. If you can, it's no problem. The second thing we're looking for is your logo and name, which is right here. So people right away know, okay, I'm at the right place. This is what I'm looking for. So we have that. Then tabs. So we have a home, which is good. Then instead of having portfolio and subcategories, you have them actually listed here, which I think is perfectly fine. So architecture, cityscapes, nature and landscape, urban life, then you have a little shop, blog and contact. So let's run into the subcategories first of all. So let's go to architecture. Here inside of the architecture, we have beautiful images, which goes without a question. This one is so incredible. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I wish you could add more a little bit, Doug, if you have. Again, just as a recommendation, but ideally 20 to 25 best images to add. Now, they are quite big, so it's not a big deal. However, if you could, it would be great. Now, when I click on image, what happens? It opens like this. There is no text or description, which is fine. And then you can slide between them. That's cool. Beautiful. Okay, little logo on the bottom. Well done. So let's jump into cityscapes. Let's see. Also beautiful images again. Some big panoramas. This one is gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 images. Again, if you would have more, I would definitely add them here. I think it would be super cool. Nature and landscape. Beautiful again, well done. Scotland right there on the top. Urban life, let's have a look. Lots of these images, I think, a little bit mixed together. I wonder if you could maybe put them together in the same category and kind of pump the category. So for example, this one showcased as an urban life. However, I think they could be easily in architecture or cityscape as well. Just something to think of. I mean, they are beautiful. The long exposure here is gorgeous. The lady here, I understand this one with the urban life. This one could easily, and this one could easily be in a architecture. So I wonder if you could maybe pump the subcategories together for the time being until you get a bigger portfolio. That would be one way to do it, maybe. Then shop. Okay, so you can buy some images here. Oh, that's cool. That's obviously another thing which can be there. Doesn't need to be. So it's like an additional page you could add to your website. And if it's here and it works, perfect. Thank you. Well done. So then it brings us to blog. I covered the blog a little bit on my page on the beginning. Obviously, it's something what can really help the SEO of your page and can really help to bring people to your website through the search engine. So that's really cool. There is lots of posts here. So brilliant. And then contact page. So we are here in the contact page with a little contact form, your photo, and some details about you. So you can brought the about page and contact page together, which I think is perfectly fine as long as both of the information are there or is there. So this is great. Let's have a look. Social media here as well, a little bit on information, all in all, brilliant. So looking at the website in overall, what I'm thinking, the really only thing I would be looking for is just few more images in each of the category, or maybe for the time being, until you get more images, I would maybe try to put them together a little bit. Or, you could easily have same images in this one as well as the urban life and just mix them together. Whatever works best for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder maybe you have 4 categories because of the main page. It's really up to you. It's just a suggestion and some recommendations from other photographers. So anyway, Doug, thank you very much for sharing your website with us. It's always great to see your work. I admire your photos, so well done. So that's it for everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to join us for the next week episode of our photography review show, make sure you check out and find out more about our membership, Clever Photographer Plus, or you can also check out our Clever Photographer Academy and join us for the next week's show. Thank you for watching today. Stay safe and bye-bye.